Good evening and welcome to the regular meeting of Port Clinton City Council, January 22nd, 2013. Don't jump up because we have official business before we get started. Before we get started, we are required to make a motion to accept Tiffany Smith as our clerk while Mrs. Springer is on maternity leave. We have no little baby yet, but he is coming probably by tomorrow. And she didn't want to upset Chief Hickman. I think it's her too. She was concerned. So those were her words. I didn't want to upset Chief Hickman. So I will accept a motion to accept Tiffany Smith as our clerk for the duration. She'll probably be with us till about April. So moved. Thank you, Mrs. Terry. Thank you, Mrs. Bell. All those in favor?
Aye.
Thank you, Tiffany. You are now our clerk for a while. Now, would you please join me in the Pledge of Allegiance, the Lord's Prayer, and a moment of silence for our men and women serving overseas. Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Our Father, who art in heaven, hallowed be thy name. Thy kingdom come, thy will be done, on earth as it is in heaven. Give us this day our daily bread, and forgive us our trespasses, as we forgive those who trespass against us. And lead us not into temptation, but deliver us from evil. For thine is the kingdom, and the power, and the glory, forever and ever. Amen. Thank you. If the clerk please call the roll.
Ron Ackerman.
Present.
Deborah Baker.
Excused.
Kathy Mel.
Present.
Mike Snyder.
Present.
Mark Hopler.
Present.
Randy Lipstraw.
Here.
Nicole Freitas.
Present. Thank you. Council, you received the minutes for the December 11th regular meeting and the July 8th regular meeting. Could I have a motion to accept those as written?
So moved, Madam President.
Thank you.
January.
Huh?
You said July.
Oh, did I?
That's okay.
January. I'm on cold medication. Could I have a second?
I'll second that one.
Thank you, Mrs. All those in favor?
Aye.
Thank you. Also, I sent to you earlier this week the rules of council. There are two corrections, and I thought I sent that to you, but I just sent you the email and didn't attach it. The only thing that changed was I had the adoption date of 1/28. Actually, the adoption date's 1/22. And I had Mrs. DeFreitas' name spelled incorrectly on the chairman. I will entertain a motion to accept the rules of council for this year.
So moved, Madam President, with the corrections.
Thank you, Mr. Snyder. Could I have a second?
I'd like to second that, please, Madam President.
Thank you, Mr. Ackerman. Any discussion about them? Would the clerk please call the roll?
Nicole Freitas.
Yes.
Randy Lipstraw.
Yes.
Mark Hopler.
Yes.
Mike Snyder.
Yes.
Kathy Mel.
Yes.
Deborah Baker.
She's not here.
Ron Ackerman.
Yes.
Okay, thank you. We now have the new rules of council. And just so the audience members know, I will let you know that we have made Mr. Koppler the finance chair. Mr. Ackerman retains his seat as chair of Parks and Recreation. Ms. Benko retains her seat in planning and development, as Mr. Snyder does in emergency services. Mrs. DeFreitas is now the chairperson for infrastructure, and Mrs. Mel is for law, retains her seat in laws, rules, and ordinances. I would appreciate if by the next meeting, which is the 13th of February, if you guys could, by that time, give me a list of your committee members. And Mike has told me, but people would email them, because sometimes when you tell me, you don't remember. Okay, the chair notes that certification has been received regarding compliance with the rules and notification of this meeting. We will now go to the mayor's report.
Thank you, Madam President. First off, I'd like to congratulate Nicole DeFreitas for becoming our councilman at large. Congratulations to you. It's just one other thing, I wanted to speak on ordinance 1-13. It involves a nature trail that runs through the Lakefront Preserve. Design work was completed last year by BEC and Associates and paid for by Coastal Management Grant. It was a 50-50 split, so 50% of it was a local match. This is applied for a construction grant through ODNR Recreational Trail Program. Estimated cost right around $30,000 for the project complete. If we awarded a grant, 2/3 of the cost would be paid for by the state, and 1/3 would be local match, approximately $10,000. So we're looking forward to that moving forward so that we can implement that project. Hopefully before the year's out, it should be complete. And that's all I have tonight, Madam President.
Thank you. Auditor's report.
Thank you, Madam President. I too would like to welcome Nicole DeFreitas to council. But other than that, I have nothing to report.
Thank you. Treasurer's report.
Madam President, my report is passed out this evening, and I too wish to welcome our new council.
Thank you. Law Director's report.
Nothing this time, Madam President.
Safety Service Director's
Thank you,
report.
Madam President. Welcome, Nicole.
Thank you.
I just want to announce that Columbia Gas is going to host a public meeting here at 6 to 7 p.m. on Monday, January 28th. The purpose of the meeting is to provide information and answer questions from residents in the project area. The project area is centered on Linden Street, which will include portions of streets west of Maple, east of Beach, south of East Perry, and north of East State Street, excuse me. So for anybody in that area, please come to the meeting and they will explain what they're going to do. Columbia Gas is going to do a bunch of new lines in town. You'll see them out there on 6th Street right now working on some things. And the other thing that I have to announce, make sure you take advantage. We have an open gym, open swim at the high school on Sundays, open for all ages. It goes from 1 to 4 Sunday afternoons. It's $3 a person, $7 a family. We do provide certified lifeguards there, so please take advantage. You can play basketball, volleyball, and use the pool all in that same afternoon. And that's all I have tonight, Madam President.
Thank you. Police Chief's report.
Thank you, Madam President. I too would like to welcome you, Nicole.
Thank you.
The only thing I have tonight is the Port Clinton Police Department will be hosting a Refuse to be a Victim course on Saturday, February 23rd, here at City Council Chambers from 1 p.m. to 5 p.m. The seminar is based on the psychology of the criminal mind, home and phone security, automobile and travel security, self-defense, devices and training options, as well as personal and technology security. This is one of many courses we're hoping to have this year. We're going to do them in the spring and the fall. The first one is set up for February. We'll be having them again in March and April, so stay tuned for those dates. Thank you, Madam President.
Thank you. What was the time again, Chief?
1 p.m. to 5 p.m. Slots are, class size will be 20 students per class. It's free of charge. The contact person will be Sergeant Josh Nelson, and he can be reached at the police department.
And that's the 23rd, Rob?
23rd of February, yes.
Thank you. Fire Chief's report.
Thank you, Madam President. I just wanted to make a quick comment that with the cold weather that we're experiencing and the severe wind chills, a lot of people have a tendency to start bringing in what we call milk house heaters or the small electric heaters into the house. Kerosene heaters and those type of things, and all I got to do is just remind you to be extremely careful with all of those. There are multiple fires that have occurred around the state of Ohio yesterday just based on that. No fatalities in the state of Ohio, but there were 4 in Michigan. So you want to keep that in the back of your mind. And also traveling when you're out in your vehicle, make sure that you dress warm, have the proper attire on when you're out there, and if your car does falter out with the severe wind chill, make sure that you stay in the vehicle and don't try to wander off. Thank you, Madam President.
Chief, how about the venting of them?
Pardon me?
How about the venting of the kerosene heaters?
you shouldn't be running the kerosene heaters in the home unless you do have a window cracked or at least a CO detector in the house that works. Thank you, sir.
Thank you. Under correspondence, I have an NPDES permit to discharge to state waters. The applicant is the Middle Bass Club. They're out of Ashland, Ohio, but that's their address. But where the discharge occurs will be at the Middle Bass Club, West Shore, Middle Bass Island, Middle Bass, Ohio. And the nature of the business will be 24 summer homes located on Middle Bass Island. If you care to comment, the clerk will have the paperwork for you to do so. I have another NPDES permit to discharge to state waters. This is Willow Beach Mobile Home Park on Willow Beach Road. And the purpose, it just says the nature of the business, the receiving stream will be LaCarp Creek. And again, if you have any objections or wish to comment, the clerk will have the paperwork to do so. I'd like a motion to accept the correspondence as stated and also the infrastructure committee notes of 1-3-13 and the treasurer's report.
So moved, Madam President.
Thank you, Mr. Snyder. Could I have a second?
I'll second that.
Thank you, Ms. Mel. All those in favor?
Aye.
Thank you. We are now going to go to the reading of ordinances and resolutions. We have a number of ordinances and resolutions to read tonight, and most of them need to be passed this evening because of time constraints. So we will get started. Will the clerk please read by title ordinance 41-12?
Ordinance 41-12, an ordinance amending section 915.04 of the codified ordinance of the city of Port Clinton relating to sanitary sewer rates and declaring an emergency.
Does council wish to take any action this evening on ordinance 41-12? Mr. Snyder.
Madam President, I'd like to make a motion that we retain the emergency clause on 4112.
I have a motion to retain the emergency clause on ordinance 41-12. Do I have a second?
Second, Madam President.
Thank you, Mr. Coppler. Any discussion on retaining of the clause? Seeing none, will the clerk please call the roll?
Ron Ackerman,
Yes.
Nicole Freitas,
Yes.
Randy Lipstraw,
Yes.
Mike Snyder,
Yes.
Mark Hopler,
Yes.
Candy Mel, Kathy
Yes.
Mel.
Thank you. The emergency clause has been retained. Does council wish to take any further action on ordinance 41-12? Mr. Snyder.
Madam President, I move we adopt ordinance 4112.
I have a motion to adopt ordinance 41-12. Do I have a second? Thank you, Mr. Lipstraw. Any discussion on ordinance 41-12? Mr. Coppler.
Thank you, Madam President. This was something we discussed in the infrastructure committee, and this brings all of the sewer rates, the billing in line with this, in the same manner that water rates are billed. We wanted to keep everything uniform. So we did discuss this in the infrastructure committee, and we feel this should be passed.
Any further discussion? Seeing none, would the clerk please call the roll?
Kathy Mel,
Yes.
Ron Ackerman,
Yes.
Mike Snyder,
Yes.
Mark Hopler,
Yes.
Randy Lipstraw,
Yes.
Nicole Freitas.
Yes.
Thank you. Ordinance 41-12 is passed. Would the clerk please read by title and summary only, ordinance 42-12?
Ordinance 42-12, an ordinance to fix salaries for certain employees of the city of Port Clinton, Ohio, for the period of commencing January 1st, 2013, and declaring an emergency.
Does council wish to take any action this evening on ordinance 42-12? Mr. Snyder.
Madam President, I'd like to make a motion that we amend ordinance 42-12. There is a copy of the amendments in front of you and extra copies over here. They're highlighted in red. But those amendments take place on page 1, section 1, subsection B, the itemized notation, part-time dispatchers, secretaries, clerk/typists, $15.80 per hour. The other amendment to that, skip a paragraph, and it shall read, the base hourly rate set forth above for part-time dispatchers, secretaries, clerk typists shall be adjusted by the city auditor from time to time to be the same as the hourly wage of a step 1 dispatchers, secretaries, clerk/typists in accordance with the applicable collective bargaining agreements between the city and the Fraternal Order of Police Lodge number 73. Yeah, 79, thank you.
Mr. Wilbur.
I believe in 4212 that you got that was handed out originally, that language was already in there. Now, the one that was emailed to you before the meeting didn't have it, Mike, but the one that was handed out for use at the council meeting that night had that language already in it. And I emailed you that.
Right, for the, and I checked that, for the original paragraph, or the paragraph prior to that, had language referring to part-time patrol officers.
And we also had the one that was out there that has for the part-time dispatcher, secretary, and clerk typist, and the other paragraph was already in there. That was handed out that night at the meeting.
I never saw that, so.
So that should be the one, the original 4212 that the clerk has that was distributed to use and had on the agenda that night.
So the only thing that needs to be amended is the itemized line item with the hourly rate of $15.80.
No, that was all in there. Right here is the one that was handed out that night at the meeting that has the $15.80 per hour in there, and it has the other language in regards to putting it in line with the Fraternal Order of Police Lodge contract.
I withdraw my amendment.
Tiffany, did you note that Mr. Snyder withdrew the amendment? I think you moved that amendment. Okay. Does council wants to take any action on ordinance 42-12? Mr. Snyder?
I would like to make a motion that we waive the emergency clause of 4212.
Or we could retain it.
Or, yeah.
I have a motion to retain the emergency clause in 42-12. Do I have a second? Thank you, Mr. Cochran. Any discussion on the retaining of the clause? I'm confused about something.
Yes, Madam President.
Okay.
The amended reading of 1/8/13 would count as the second reading of the ordinance 4212? Or even though the amended reading isn't technically the original ordinance, correct?
No,
You
we,
were just amending it tonight. You didn't amend it at the last meeting.